One of the biggest questions students ask me, Grace, how can I fund my graduate school in the US? How do I pay my tuition and all of that? Yes, I know. Let's be sincere, graduate school in the US can be very expensive, but the good news is there are options. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Grace Obio and I help you navigate through everything grad school, from applications to finding funding to thriving in grad school and beyond. In this video, I'm going to be sharing 5 ways you can get funding for graduate school in the US. Number 1, assistantships. These are the most common forms of funding, and they come in 2 forms. No, 3 now. We have what we call the teaching assistantship, which is what we call the TAs, where you help teach or grade, or you just work very closely with a professor that teaches a class, and then you're given teaching tasks or grading tasks to perform. And then we have what we call the research assistantship. For the research assistantships, here you help a professor with a research. The research sometimes could be related to your own research, or it could not be related to your research, but you're going to be working closely with a professor to help him with the research, either writing papers for a research or doing every research task given to you. And then we have what we also call the graduate assistantship, what we call the GA. Now here you're given a range of graduate work, from academic to even administrative tasks. What do you get in return for all of this? Juicy. You get tuition waiver. I mean, your tuition is waived. You don't have to bother with about paying your school fees, and then you're also given a monthly stipend. And this is one of the best to me, because you gain a degree and you also gain work experience, because the work experience you get during this time also counts for you in the US for work experience. And then the second way to fund your graduate school in the US is through fellowships and scholarships. Now, these are very competitive, and they are usually awarded by universities, government, or even some private organizations. And I really like this. This is so chill. Like, the best thing about them is that you don't even have to work. Like, you don't have to do anything. Just focus on your work and do your research, or go to school and graduate. And and many schools offer these. So this is something you really need to check out for when you are searching for universities. You need to ask the graduate coordinators, the graduate school, what funding opportunities do you have. They could tell you they have TAs and ROAs, and some of them could also have some dean scholarships, some university scholarships that are given to some high performing students, even at the point of entrance. And again, some of these scholarships come when you have already started the program. That is when you become qualified for some of these scholarships. And so example of this fellowship is one of the fellowship from this AAWS. I don't know if I got it right, but it's a scholarship given by some African women in America to help women carry out their research. Yeah, so this one is an example of a fellowship that you can get to fund your graduate program here. Now, the third one kind of funding we have is the grants. Now, these grants are usually project based, and they are more common for research focused degrees, especially PhDs. Masters really do not get grants unless you have a PI. When I say PI, principal investigator, or your advisor or your supervisor, however you want to call it, who has applied for this grant and then attaches your name to these grants. Oftentimes you're going to be working as an RA, because the grant is not in your name. So, but sometimes even while in the program, you can also get some grants. Like, for example, I've gotten like 2 small grants that helped me with my research. So I didn't have to start thinking of, how do I get money to do this and do that in the lab. I got about 2 grants here that helped me with my research. So if the grant is a big one and it is very it aligns so much with your research, you could be fully covered. Like, they'll pay your tuition and they will take care of everything for you. So it just depends. The fourth type of funding, we have the on-campus jobs and part-time work. Yeah, because as a student in the US on F1 visa, you are not allowed to work outside the US. You can only work inside the school. And you just have 20 hours to work. So most times people work in the library, student centers. There are different places in school where students could work. So with these 20 hours, sometimes, let's be sincere, it's not enough to pay your tuition, but at least it's going to keep you going. You're sure of paying your rent, having your bills, some little bills, feeding. With this, you're going to be fine. But your tuition, you have to find a way to sort out your tuition. I'm sorry. And then we have the last one. We have external fundings and scholarships. This could come from your home country. Some students here, their country funds their masters or their PhD. Yeah. And also there are some private companies like Empower, I'm going to put it here, and or international organizations like Fulbright. Empower gives you loans. Yeah, I know 2 persons who came for an MBA in the US with Empower. So Empower really helps students give them loans to fund their master's program in the US. And we also have Fulbright organization. These are like international organizations. I know so many people who came here on Fulbright. They pay everything down to your flight ticket. I mean, it's very juicy and beautiful. We also have World Bank. World Bank also sponsors students for their program here in the US. Most times World Bank sponsors master's program. Fulbright sponsors PhD also, yes, but World Bank, Fulbright also sponsors PhD master. So you should find out some other external funding, bodies that could help you with your masters or whatever. So when you get admission, you should not be so scared that you don't have money. You could explore some of these. So that is why, for me, I would always advise that you should check the funding tab of every department before you apply, and also email professors to ask about assistantships. Some persons will tell you, oh, we do not have TA or RA at the beginning, but just apply. When you get admission, then we could they could interview you for some opportunities in the school for some funding opportunities. So do not be afraid of applying because you're not sure of funding, especially for masters. Go ahead and apply. When you get the admission, then you could explore some of these funding opportunities that I've talked about. And again, remember, some of the funding opportunities come only when you have gotten admission. If you found this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe for more graduate tips, and let me know in the comment section which of these funding tips you are exploring or which of them you explored when you applied for graduate school in the US. Don't forget to also like and share with people in your community. Bye till I come your way next time.